This literally came out yesterday, and I feel like I'm already the last person to talk about this. Let's talk about the spiciest topic of them all. AI. Artificial intelligence. So basically what happened, lore recap. Yesterday, Google dropped a model that can basically... It can basically write a book. Which, by the way, the most depressing thing, I think there was someone was given an award, and she said that she wrote the book with AI. So it's already happening. So basically, Google dropped this, right? It's a model that just breaks everything open. It's a very good model, very good model. And then like an hour later, OpenAI drops this, which is a goddamn text-to-video model. I mean, it's not perfect. If you look at this, right? Like this is what people said immediately. You look at this. Look right here. If you can see my cursor, look at this bit of fence. See, they warp through the fence. It's not perfect by any stretch. But... So I was looking at this. I got a bit spooked. Now, I am generally very, very positive about these things. Because I think that will open up. I know people are extremely negative about this, but can you imagine putting this in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing? Not in my hands, because both of my hands are left ones. I have 2 left hands. I am not left-handed, by the way. But if you put this in the hands of an actual artist, and they use this to spruce up art, oh boy, are we in for a good one. A lot of people were like talking about this. The biggest thing about this clip right here is, look at this sign. Right, look at this sign. It's Japanese, right? Look at this. She goes in front of the sign, and then when she moves past the sign remains the same. That's literally visual consistency. This is already good enough to synthesize video that you could actually use. This is no longer a tech demo. This is something that could technically be usable. It's literally consistently generated. This is insane. And I was looking at all this. Imagine this, right? You give this to a proper artist, and they're making a little cinema thing. And they just render out eyes. Like, we didn't get a shot of our actor's eyes. We'll make it real quick. It's little things like this that you can already do. Look at this monkey. This monkey also clearly borked. There are 3 kings. The chessboard is tiny, right? Like this is dumb. It's not good. But I sort of keep going back to this. This is how it started. And then we go back to the monkey. This was the most insane one. I think it's because they have like the most training data for animals. So basically what I did, this stuff really, really scares me, right? The stance I take on all of this is, there was the big controversy around, like, you can see 2 ears poking up. There was the big controversy about, like, Asmongold saying that, like, the opinion of artists doesn't matter, yada yada, right? The opinion I have on all of this is, you can have whatever opinion you have, but for the love of God, do not fall behind. You can hate this stuff, but embrace it. Read as much as you can, understand how these things work. You can hate it. You cannot use it. Understand it. And if you understand it, then you can work around it. I still think that like a lot of the discussions about the actual like art are overblown. Because I feel like art is and always will be art. People will always talk about art. This won't change that. What I thought was most interesting to me is it was at the very bottom. Because my assumption for this, I don't know if I said this. My assumption for this is that they're being held back for the elections. Right? This is simulated Minecraft. This doesn't exist because it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what the hell is this? What the hell is that? What is that? I thought stuff like this wouldn't come out this year because of the election. Apparently, I was wrong. Welcome to the internet where everything should be questioned a million times. This is just using the prompt Minecraft. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense, but it's there. It's visually consistent as well. And the thing is, the reason why I'm talking about all of this is because I know a lot of people on my channel are here for AI. No, for AI. You're definitely not here for AI. You're here for anime. You are here for anime, and we all love anime. Where does anime come out of? Well, it comes out of Japan. Which country has some of the worst state of jobs, let's call it that. Japan. Guess which country has basically said, you know what? Let's ball. Basically what I think this means. I genuinely feel like you can't overstate how much the world changed yesterday. Because this is like real life, right? And this is generated from nothing. Like I said, you give this in the hands of an artist, and you actually work on this, you could make full-fledged animated series with a quarter of the work. It's insane. I know Marcus was joking around like replacing YouTube creators. This will be the most important thing to me. Because people are so insistent on the fact that we are here for like people, right? Whether it is man-made art, whether it is man-made entertainment, whether it is like people, creators, yada yada. I want to stress test that. I want to see if that is actually true. I want to see if this is just something people tell themselves because there hasn't been anything good enough to be, well, good, you know? I really, really do hope the creative industries embrace this. I do. I know a lot of people are very, very negative about all this. I don't think you necessarily have to be. I don't. The short term is going to be bad, though. Generate things like a cute girl and just fool people by posing as them. And that's what I mean. We've entered the era where, I mean, we were already in that era, right? Basically, what this has done is it has removed the need for skill to make a good fake. Because if you really wanted to, you could make this. You could make all of this from scratch. Easily. You just needed a studio and $1 million. Now you can make it in your living room. It has really changed nothing fundamentally. It has just shifted the goalposts. And that's what I mean by creatives. I know it looks bad. Embrace it. Because someone who doesn't know anything what they're doing, me, I won't make anything good with this. I won't. You, on the other hand, you will take this and you will actually make it good. So I think basically all this has done is, you know how going from physical painting to digital painting was a huge leap in that you didn't have to mix colors, you didn't have to know anything about like actually how color works, yada yada. You could just like, the biggest thing is obviously once you put not pen to paper, but once you put like paint on the canvas, it's kind of there forever, right? You need to be careful what you do. With digital painting, you don't. And big surprise, that's what happened with digital art at first. I've read up on it quite a bit. People were very, very mad about digital art when that first became a thing. And that's what I mean. This, I think, has just massively shifted, like, the barrier to entry. I still think talented people will be infinitely more talented than me. To use AI for blackmailing? That's what I mean. I thought they will hold this back until the election. Because the thing I fear most is security right now. Because I don't trust anything. I do not trust anything I see. Nothing. Nothing on the internet should be trusted. But when it comes to... By the way, now that we're getting into voice cloning, yada yada, right? We even had this... this was on the news a few days ago. You might want to start using, like... sounds so dystopian, oh my god. You might want to start coming up with, like, secret phrases for your family and stuff. Apparently, like, cloning voices is becoming very, very prevalent, rather. Which is like calling your grandma, saying they need money. Future of the live-action adaptation. And this is what I mean, right? Like, with this tech, you could... I think this is going to be used for concepts. The fastest thing they're probably going to do this, use this with, is concepts. So again, a talented person comes up with an idea, they throw it in this little thing, see a concept, actually make it, you know? So instead of having a entirely separate concept art department, yada yada, this could just be done faster, right? And we could reskill from purely doing concepts to doing full-fledged art, right? Again, I say it's gonna be easy, it's not. Short term is gonna be real bad. Oh yeah, there was the scam, right? Oh, I was talking about individuals. Yeah, the CEO was scammed. I completely forgot about that. There was like a heist. Someone impersonated a CEO. I completely forgot about that. You're right. You're right. And that's what I mean. Like, better safe than sorry. With all of this stuff, and that's what I think this all keeps coming back to. A lot of people are saying, I am blocking the term AI, yada yada. the only thing that can protect you is you. If you keep on top of this stuff, there's a much better chance to get ahead. Is the best advice I can give. Tech is evolving way too fast for there to be any laws. I mean, to be fair, that's been true for everything. AI is not the first thing. I feel like AI is the thing that is moving the fastest, but look at copyright law. Copyright law is still the same thing from like the 90s. Copyright law is broken for the internet. It won't be fun though. The long process sometimes is what makes it special for the artists. What does this change? What you revealed right there is the thing that bothers me the absolute most. People talking about this as if they're talking about art. When people talk about AI art, they are talking about compensation. I don't think... Well, maybe there are. But art should be fulfilling. And it always will be. Nothing will ever take art away from you. Nothing. The same way that digital art didn't remove physical paintings. The same way photographs haven't removed art. You can take a picture of a person, but we still do paintings. Why do we do that? Because it's fulfilling. We value it, you know? It won't take anything away. The only thing we need to figure out is how the hell people are gonna get paid, you know? Because my problem is not about automating art. Automate everything. I don't care. You know why? Because then you'll be able to do whatever the hell you want. My problem is being paid. I meant with phone calls? Yes. Also that. Yes. Yes. Cloning a voice is very, very easy now. I try to do it for videos just so I don't have to like re-record small bits, but it's not good enough. It still feels odd. Like the problem with it right now is that it sounds fine, but when you put it against your real voice, it sounds off. If it was just AI generated, it could pass off as decent, but if you try and splice in, like for example, when I speak fast, I tend to mix up words because I'm thinking in two different languages, yada yada, right? And when I try to like replace one word in the middle of a sentence just so I don't have to re-record the whole thing 50 times, it doesn't work. It's not good enough. Problem here is the data set. I know exactly what you're saying, and even that, to me, it doesn't matter so long as the people would be compensated. The word stolen there is the most important part for me. Because stealing implies that something is being taken away, right? I literally don't care about AI creating anything so long as everyone involved is compensated. And that is the one thing we don't have figured out. People are so caught up on this whole art part where I don't think art has anything to do with this. Art is and always will be a human value. Art will never cease to exist. Even if we upload our consciousness into the Matrix, we will still talk about art that is created by what we perceive as human, you know? It will never be taken away. The problem in all of this is money. Using the word stolen, you know, like training the dataset on people's art, it immediately implies that something is being lost, which in this case is compensation. On one hand, it can be a chance for creative people to explore their creativity without having a huge budget because not everyone can afford stuff like that, but yeah, it's still got a problematic side. Exactly. And this is the growing pains. Do you remember the Gear 5 video we watched? So we watched this. This was a while ago, right? Can you imagine giving a person like this these sort of tools? What they could spin up by themselves. If this is what they could do. He's got a hugely problematic side. This is not a single dude. It all comes back to those sweet, sweet dollary dues. A little oppa here. Like, imagine if I mean, he needs to eat, right? He needs money to eat. What is Oppa gonna do? Little man. AI itself is cool. Is that there will be so many evil people that will abuse it? Makes it so worrisome. Exactly, right? I mean, I have a very personal vested interest in it because I want it to be applied to like medicine, and then they will cure me. Because I have an autoimmune condition. Technically, you could be cured at a certain point. So I want them to do that. But other than that, like, it's a very complex issue. And I come from a finance background, right? I have a degree in economics and finance. So I have a very hard time untangling that part of my brain as well. And that's what I mean, like, all of this ultimately comes down to purely jobs and people feeling safe, being paid, yada yada. I don't think any of this technology is a problem. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, but to an extent, every single technology has been dangerous, you know? I do think that this is a historical event. Like, unironically. I think this right here, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal in live action. I genuinely don't. I think the first place we're going to see this is animation. Because in animation, like, if you look at the consistency I was talking about here, like the sign, this sign right here, in animation, this wouldn't even be this detailed, right? This would just be like a small little thing, and it would be no big deal. So in animation, the consistency is already far less important, and you can generate this whole thing, and then go in and change it however you want. It's just going to be faster. Laws regarding AI should be implemented fast. You want to hear my very sad perspective on it? I don't think there will be. I think we currently exist in a very, very, very unfortunate time, in a very scary time, and I think there are certain parties that are very interested in moving it as far along as possible, as fast as possible, and being the first to do it. And, you know, cracking a few eggs to get that, I don't think it's a worry. Should be disclosed. That is something I feel like we are moving towards a good solution, right? Like, games on Steam, if you're using AI, it needs to be and AI as we use it now, because AI has been in everything. Like, every single NPC in a game is AI, right? It's like how we use it now, generative AI. If a Steam game uses generative AI, it needs to be disclosed. On a YouTube video, I believe as well, if you use AI, it needs to be disclosed now. A lot of these things need to be disclosed. And I saw Google put out a paper that they're hiding like an invisible watermark in everything they do, that it's generated by AI. And this is a watermark that literally can never be removed. It's hard encoded in there that you can see it under like a spectrogram or something. I mean, probably if you're smart enough, you could probably get rid of it somehow. But at that point, like, what's the point? You made this thing with AI, and then you're just going back and forth to remove it? I don't know. In the short run, I feel like disclosure is a good band-aid fix. But it's a band-aid fix. It will be very, very interesting to see what Japan does with this. I feel like the anime industry is the first thing that will adopt this, like, genuinely. Because for them, this is a money printer. Like, genuinely. This is a money printer. What I really, really hope is this results, instead of more anime, it results in people getting better sleep. You know? MAPPA can still produce every single series under the sun, but instead of people working 30 hours a day... that was a joke, by the way. I know I said 30 hours a day. That was the point. So instead of people working 30 hours a day, they instead maybe work only, you know, maybe 8 hours a day and then sleep. Something like that, you know. In the short term, yes, I do think in the short term the aim is to replace them. In the longer term, I do think I think it's going to be a boomerang effect, and that's what I mean. The best thing you can do now, whether you're an artist, whether you're a student, whether you're working in whatever you're doing, the best thing to do with each and every one of these things is to not fall behind. You don't want to be that guy at 25 talking about those darn kids on their phones. You don't want to be that guy. You don't. If it makes you feel any better, if it makes you feel any better at all, I was already cut off by AI. It already took my job. Well, I mean, it didn't, because I never actually applied. For a quick mini story before I go to bed, because it's getting late. I've told this many times before. Basically, like I said, I have a finance degree, I have an economics degree, right? And I was talking to one of our alumni. They're working in consultancies, and basically all that consultancy type of business, right? And basically what they said is very, very bluntly, look, most people have read the McKinsey report. They know AI is coming, and in finance, we've already, like, insurances and everything are already done purely through basically AI, right? We probably won't need you. And then I was like, well, that's good to hear. I'm glad I just studied all of this. So, you know, as a freelance artist, I don't worry about being replaced. I feel bad for employed artists who get replaced. Exactly, yeah. And that's like structural unemployment, right? That's where I break into my economics perspective, right? Because there's structural unemployment, there's frictional unemployment, and there's seasonal unemployment. And then you need to keep all of those in check. Things might look bad, but if it's like structural unemployment is usually the worst, right? But you know, Anyway, I'll leave it there for today. I hear Appa making noise that he shouldn't be making. I work for a mortgage company, and they're incorporating AI now to replace us all. Join the club. Finance is going to be the first thing that's cut. Because that's literally like... which, by the way, something people don't want to talk about. This was already implemented in trading, right? Like in stocks trading, this has been a thing since like, I don't know when. Like stocks trading hasn't been really done by people for a very long time. Like on a professional level. There's still oversight, obviously, but you know. Anyway, like I said, thank you for joining me today. I'll be back like Sunday, and we'll do it all over again.